The Galactic Council chamber was a cathedral of light and judgment, its walls carved from crystal harvested on dying worlds, its ceiling displaying the stars of every allied species. Beneath that shimmering dome, Commander Eli Ward stood alone on the accused platform, a ring of shimmering energy holding him in place. The counselors, 12 beings of unimaginable power and age, watched from their high thrones, eyes burning with the colors of distant suns. Their voices echoed to the chamber like thunder and wind. Eli Ward, the speaker intoned, her form shifting between solid and vapor. You are charged with crimes against the Accord, unlawful contact, genetic contamination, and treason against the Interstellar Directive. How do you plead? Eli's jaw clenched. Guilty of saving lives, not of treason. A murmur rippled through the gallery. Thousands watched. Soldiers, civilians, reporters, and ambassadors from 100 worlds. The speaker's luminous eyes narrowed. You defied a direct order. You made contact with a protected species. You interfered with evolution. I stopped the genocide, Eli said, voice rising. Your law would have let them die. You call it contamination. I call it compassion. Compassion, the speaker repeated coldly, does not erase consequence. The verdict had already been written. Everyone in the chamber knew it. The council never reversed its rulings, not for humans, not for anyone. Outside the glowing platform, silent guards of the Valorian order waited. Towering aliens in silver armor, weapons humming faintly. As the speaker raised her staff to deliver judgment, a whisper rippled through the chamber, a disturbance near the entrance. A door hissed open, and through it ran a figure, small, fragile, her silken robes torn from the chase. Her skin shimmered faintly with bioluminescent lines. Her hair floated like strands of liquid light, and her voice, trembling yet fierce, shattered the silence. Don't kill my husband. Every being in the chamber turned. The sound echoed like a bell through eternity. Eli's head snapped up, eyes wide. Tira! The council guards lunged toward her, but she ran straight into the beam of light that separated him from the world. It flickered as if uncertain how to handle her presence. Gasps erupted among the counselors. She's one of the Lethari, someone hissed. They're not supposed to be here. Impossible, murmured another. That species hasn't left their home system in centuries. Enough, boomed the speaker. Who is this being? Tira turned, breathless, standing before the council's wrath like a candle in a storm. I am Tira Velan, daughter of the Lethari Prime Envoy. Even the guards hesitated. Her voice quivered, not with fear, but with desperation. This man, this human, is no criminal. He is my husband. A sound rippled through the chamber like thunder. The spectators rose in disbelief. The speaker's staff struck the floor, sending out a shockwave of sound. Your claim is a violation of every interspecies protocol. The Lethari are a pre-accord race. No human may form a union with them. Tira's eyes glowed with tears. Then your law is wrong. 2 years earlier, the Forbidden World, Eli Ward had been stationed on the edges of map space, part of an exploratory detachment assigned to observe Lethar Prime, a lush, water-veiled world untouched by the chaos of galactic politics. The mission was simple. Observe but do not interfere. The Lethari were brilliant but isolated, a young race with evolving biochemistry and early psionic sensitivity. But then the plague came. A mist-borne virus of unknown origin swept through the Lethari villages, killing thousands within days. The council ordered the human vessel to remain in orbit. Non-intervention was absolute law. Eli couldn't watch them die. He defied his command, landing under cover of night. He used human nanomedicine, stabilizing the infected, and when the Lethari guards found him, he expected death. Instead, she found him. Tira Velan, a healer, daughter of the planet's envoy. She had never seen a human before, and yet she didn't recoil. She watched him save her brother, and in that moment, her heart changed. Days turned into weeks. He taught her about human science. She taught him about psionic resonance and the living force of her world. They grew close, too close. When his command finally recalled him to orbit, he thought it was over. But Tira followed, risking death in the vacuum to reach his shuttle. That night, under the dying light of Lether's moons, they made a vow, one older than law. Their souls were joined through the Lethari bond, a sacred connection of life force that made their union permanent, undeniable. To the council, It was heresy. Back to the present. The council's verdict. Do you admit this claim? The speaker demanded. Eli straightened. Yes, I love her. I married her by her people's right. If that's a crime, I accept the punishment. The speaker's eyes burned brighter. Punishment? The penalty for your crime is erasure. You'll be disintegrated, memory, form, and record, so that no trace of your contamination remains. Tira cried out, stepping forward. You will kill one of the few beings who understood compassion beyond species. He saved us when your council looked away. The speaker raised a hand, silencing her. You speak as though we owe humanity gratitude. You are mistaken. You owe the Accord your existence. Tira turned toward the gallery. Look at me. Do I look corrupted? Do I look less alive because I loved a human? Our bond healed more than my people. It healed the divide your laws created. Her psionic aura flared, a brilliant cascade of light that rippled across the chamber. Beings gasped as they felt her emotion like a wave of warmth. For a heartbeat, the entire council could feel what she felt. Her love, her grief, her conviction. Eli whispered. Tira stopped. They'll... A guard raised a weapon. The energy beam crackled, but before it could fire, one of the Valorian judges raised his clawed hand. Wait! The entire chamber froze. This judge, massive and scaled, leaned forward. The resonance... I felt it. Her life force is bound to his. The speaker hesitated. Explain. If we erase a human, the judge said slowly, she dies with him. The chamber erupted into whispers. The Ledhari bond was sacred and irreversible. To destroy one was to extinguish both. The speaker's expression hardened. Then they shall die together. Tira trembled. So this is your justice? Eli looked at her, tears glinting in his eyes. It's okay, he whispered. I'd rather die with you than live without you. She gripped his hand to a barrier, their fingers separated by light. No, she said, voice breaking. You will not die for me. Not again. The plea of the stars. Tira turned to face the council, her aura rising like a storm. Hear me, elders of the Accord. You claim to uphold peace, yet your laws breed cruelty. You speak of purity while forbidding compassion. You call him unworthy, yet it was your inaction that doomed my people. The chamber trembled. Her power was uncontained now, psychic energy filling the air, bending sound, distorting light. Guard stepped forward and froze mid-motion, held still by invisible force. She raised her glowing hand, pointing to the speaker. You will not kill him, not while my heart beats. The speaker stood, power coiling around her staff. Two forces were colliding in silence. You would challenge the council itself? The speaker asked. I would challenge the unjust, Tira said, her voice echoing through every mind in the hall. Then something unexpected happened. In the upper tiers, alien spectators began to stand. One by one, diplomats and soldiers rose, their species glowing in colors of solidarity. A voice in the crowd called, Let them live. Another joined, then another. In moments, hundreds were chanting, the sound rising like a storm through the chamber. Let them live. Let them live. The speaker's light flickered uncertainly. The council had not seen rebellion like this in centuries. Finally, the Valorian judge spoke again. The Accord's power comes from unity. If this love has inspired unity where there was division, perhaps it is not corruption, but evolution. The speaker hesitated, then lowered her staff. The council will deliberate. After the storm, hours later, the verdict was delivered. By narrow vote, 7-5, the council commuted Eli's sentence. He would not be erased. He and Tira were exiled from the core worlds, forbidden to influence any other civilization, but they were free. As they left the chamber, the crowd erupted into applause, a sound that shook the great hall of stars. Outside, beneath a massive skylight, Tira turned to him, tears streaking her luminous cheeks. You would have died for me. He smiled faintly. You screamed louder than any lawyer I've ever had. She laughed, a sound that felt like home. What now? She whispered. Eli looked out the galaxy beyond the council's towers, a sea of stars waiting to be explored. Now, he said, we find a world that doesn't care about laws, only life. She slipped her hand into his. Then let's start over, together. As their shuttle lifted into the starry void, the council dome shimmered behind them, and across the galaxy, whispers began to spread, not of treason, not of crime, but of love that defied empires.